welcome to the Intel Creator Challenge. I am your host for today's episode, Lutavia, but as you can see, I have some wonderful individuals with me today, including the ever fantastic Justin Roby, aka Roby Tech, as well as the wonderful Gina Darling.
This is like all of my favorite reality TV shows melded into one. You got 3 teams, 40 hours, and they're battling it out for $30,000. But this time, we actually have cosplayers pairing with builders.
None of these teams actually knew who they were going to work with until now.
And they don't know what the theme is, so they had to pack whatever. It's like packing for a vacation without knowing what the weather's going to be.
Okay, so, and what we have is we have like this X factor with adding cosplayers into this whole thing, and I'm super excited to see the magic that comes out of that, especially with, you know, these new cosplayers that these people have never worked with before.
Speaking of the cosplayers here, we have some coming from all over the world, but let's talk about a local legend first. She is not afraid of taking the most obscure anime characters and turning into a beautiful cosplay. Her name is Zekia.
Hi, Arin here. This is like pretty different than anything I've worked on before. And so I guess depending on the PC builder style, it might be easier or more difficult. I'm like a very last minute cosplayer. I'm gonna do my best.
Up next, someone who's totally not unfamiliar with the world of beautiful, gorgeous armor builds. Please welcome the wonderful Panterona cosplay.
Hi, I'm Panterona and I'm here for the Intel Creator Challenge. I'm very, very nervous. I'm in a completely different country. So I'm actually really curious and excited to see how PC modders and cosplayers are gonna like come together and create something that's cohesive.
And to round out our cosplayers, this is someone who loves making magical, majestic, beautiful gowns. We have Regan from Cowbutt Crunchies.
Hello, I'm Regan. Along with my wife, I cosplay under the name Cowbutt Crunchies Cosplay. I think each of the modding teams, they have a very, very unique style. This is about matching my partner. So I want to essentially kind of alter what I am making to reflect their style as well.
So we know the cosplayers, but what I'm excited about is the PC builders that they're gonna pair with. The first one I wanna talk about is PC Works.
But also, this time we've got some fresh blood on the set. Please welcome Harji.
Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Harji and I'm ready to build for the Intel Creator Challenge.
What's up guys, it's Tim from PC Works.
What it do?
Something that I've noticed about Tim and myself is that we have very similar styles.
We like things more of the simple and clean way.
When it comes to workflow wise, I think we're gonna be able to understand each other.
And how we do things and what the end result that we want to see is gonna kind of play together really, really well.
Also returning after 2 incredible challenges, it is the Liquid House team, who, by the way, I ran into half of them in the bathroom. Super nice.
Hi guys, it's Ellie from Liquid House.
Hey everyone, this is John at Liquid House, and we're ready to get started for the Intel Creator Challenge.
This is a completely different approach than we've done in the past. We still have no idea what the theme is.
And so there's so many unknown variables, but if we had a fight, I mean, I'm down to fight, I'll throw hands. Intel's bringing the challenge to the Intel Creator Challenge this year, and it's gonna be fun.
And another newcomer, we got Snackson, literally sweetness bottled up.
And after his appearance at the second Intel Creator Challenge, Rhodes PC is looking to grab his first ICC win.
Hey, it's Sarah, also known as Snackson, and I'm ready to create at the Intel Creator Challenge.
Hey guys, Rhodes PC here, and I'm ready to get building for the Intel Creator Challenge.
I love how Derek is my partner, because when I first met him, I really thought of him as like the biggest Care Bear. I felt like I could learn a lot from him. He's tackling the ICC with the same mentality as I am, which is I'm here to have fun and learn, but I'm also gonna put up a good fight.
I got the call for this ICC and I was in immediately. It sounded extreme, it sounded kind of wild, but in my head I was thinking like redemption. You know, let me try again. Yeah, give me a chance to build on set again and let's go.
So the first team, let's break it down a little bit. So we got newcomer Snackson, and then we've got Rhodes PC, the Canadian juggernaut in terms of just creativity and stuff like that. And then we are pairing them with an incredible cosplayer.
Yeah, Pantarona really brings her own spirit of creativity to every build. And I think this combined harness core of imaginative behaviors and creativity and these ideas, I think they're gonna definitely be a team to watch. So our second team happens to be Liquid House, whose builds are nothing short of impeccable, filled with detail, and so clean. So I really do think someone like Calbutt Crunchies will make a fantastic pair with them with her eye to detail.
And you had an interesting just bit about Liquid House. You called them allergic to cases. I love it.
Yeah, I took a look at their Instagram and I realized after a few scrolls, I'm not seeing any cases. It's just wires. It looks like car engines, and I love it. Last but not least, it's gonna be PC Works teaming up with Harji. And I think it's perfect that they will have Zekia with them. Zekia is known to make very accurate cosplays, and the other two are so good at making very sleek, beautiful computers.
They're both about precision. I mean, that's the thing. That's what you have with Tim and with Harji. Matched with such a precise cosplayer, this is also going to be a very nice pair.
I'm really curious to see, because I've kind of gotten a vibe of each person, especially the cosplayer. I'm really curious to see if they end up picking up any themes that are complete opposites of them, because like some of them are just so colorful and bright. I just hope they pick something grungy and just take them out of their comfort zone and see what they come up with.
In here is their future, their fate, the themes that they will get for the 40-hour competition. So I'm gonna be doing Pantarona, Snacksin, and Rhodes PC. And then you're?
I'm gonna be doing Liquid House and then Calbutt Crunchies.
Okay.
And I will be determining the fate of Harji, PC Works, and Zekia.
Got it. Okay, well, shall we get the doors open?
Ooh!
Oh, wow!
Fancy!
You got the
Oh my gosh!
Let's go.
Okay, I
let's
just
do
got like goosebumps.
I feel like a magician.
Yes. Okay, guys, the fate is happening, and I get to start with you three. You guys ready?
Will it matter if we say we're not?
Who's gonna do the honors? Oh, you just have that look. You have that look. Here we go.
Oh, Jesus, Lord, Father in heaven.
I love it. Okay. Initial thoughts. High Gothic.
Oh no, not that. I didn't even think Gothic was gonna be in the hat.
It was such a blur for me. Oh my goodness, we're starting already.
Ominous, epic.
Okay. What are your thoughts? I mean, again, you're the lead design on the cosplay side.
So, I'm a very kawaii, kind of cutesy girl, but I love it.
Okay.
Love it. When they pull out the hat and they said High Gothic, to be honest with you, my mind went blank. Once I marinated in my sauces, when everything started to come together, but honestly, initially, I had nothing.
Okay, awesome. Well, number 2, here we go.
All right, Liquid House and Calbutt.
Oh, we're 2.
Time to determine your fates.
We definitely thought for sure we were 3.
Pick this one for you.
Danke. What's it gonna be?
I see letters.
Something with letters on it. Whoa. Post-apocalyptic.
How are we feeling?
I am the biggest Mad Max fan, so I like this a lot.
It's good stuff.
I am really excited for this theme. I'm a huge Mad Max fan. I'm a huge Blade Runner fan. Those properties are so inspirational to me.
And then what about y'all? How are you feeling?
Honestly, I think this is good.
Yeah, I'm gonna start patinaing right away.
Yeah, I think this is I think we were hoping something a little bit more aged because of the time constraint that we have. I think that it will be really beneficial to not have something super clean. This might work to our benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
John and I love to talk about post-apocalyptic stuff, world end things. We watch a lot of media that have to do with end of worlds. I felt prepared for this theme.
All right, and then finally, last but not least.
All right, Harji, Tim, Zekia, I have you guys right here. Oh God, I hope it's one of mine. I really do. Here we go. Want to open it?
Vintage futurism.
Ooh.
When I first heard the theme, I thought it was pretty exciting. I felt good about it.
No, okay, me and Tim, we have.
We're good.
Yeah.
Any ideas in your head?
Yes.
What are we thinking? What are we seeing in our heads so far?
That's a surprise.
Oh.
That's a surprise. That's a surprise.
All right, and then Do you feel comfortable with this?
I'm just trying to think of ideas right now.
I believe in you.
I was a little bit hesitant on the theme at first. I had no idea what that was at first. I was like,
All right, everyone, you have your themes, you have all of your equipment, and you have 40 hours. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, ready, set, go!
The event officially began, apparently, because we see Tim and Harji just sprint towards the hardware and the case selection, and I guess it's on. So we had a ton of white cases, but a lot of the themes that were chosen weren't really gonna jive well with white cases. I mean, that was something that stressed me out.
So the PC parts selection, we wanted the black aesthetic.
There was only one black case left, and Liquid House was actually in front of it. I don't know, me and Derek just wanted to be polite, and we were reading for them if they were gonna get the case.
Luckily, me and John had a fist fight, and I won. No, I'm just kidding. He graciously worked with me on which case to get, so I was able to work with that going into the High Gothic theme.
However, there was a thermal take that was kind of pushed to the side, so we didn't see it at first.
I honestly think that this is going to be more of our style.
Yes, the Core P3 is going to be open air a little bit. Obviously, we're going to pull the glass off.
Yeah.
It's essentially an open air chassis just with 4 rods and glass on top of that. So it's basically a test bench, if you will. As soon as I saw it, I had no problem giving up the Fantex case to Derek and Sarah.
And I also believe that the Thermaltake chassis itself is made out of steel, which means I can take the paint off. We can get some salt on it and get it to rust.
Yeah.
It was almost meant to be. I felt a lot more comfortable with an open air chassis. So it worked out actually really nicely.
Do you think like something like you know, like our Arcane, League of Legends Arcane, do you think that would fit into like kind of a retrofuturism thing, like the Pope?
Like if you're doing like hex tech type of stuff.
Yeah.
So when we landed on Arcane, I was actually pretty happy with it, and I did feel like in the end it did fit the theme relatively well because it was steampunk.
So basically this series is more steampunky and it's very like grungy looking, but I feel like there's less painting needed to be done because it is a darker series.
Yes, so I personally, if you ask me, I want to reduce painting time just because of the weighting and the curing.
I was thinking that Piltover would fit more with the theme. Piltover is more steampunk inspired.
Like, what are you planning for the design?
So truthfully, I really want to do like a Heimerdinger, like a gold and blue type thing. But obviously that's a lot of painting.
Yeah, I think that would look really cool, but yeah.
Yeah.
I actually was very thankful to my teammates for this. They seemed to basically want to take my direction on it. So if I said that I want to do this character, then they would base the build around what I wanted to do.
Okay. Do you feel Jinx or Caitlyn is better?
For me personally, probably Jinx.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with Jinx.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I got 2 motherboards because they had 2 different colors.
Oh, is there a black one?
When I first saw that we got High Gothic, I knew nothing about it. Like, even Derek, he said that High Gothic wasn't his thing. Which do you
This
think?
is RGB, so that can change.
So you want to get this one instead?
Well, I think the black would work better. Well, I don't know. Luckily, because of the pairing with Panterona, she kind of calmed us down.
Let's hang on to him, and then when we figure it out, we'll.
Here.
Yeah.
She knew a good story for us to work with and guided me to be like, listen, we'll just make a cool story, and then we'll work with that aesthetic.
What if she's like this sorceress, and the source of her power is the PC that you're making? I used to work in Milan. There's a huge cathedral called the Duomo, which I thought architecturally represented the High Gothic really, really well. If we could have some really cool stained glass elements.
That's amazing.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so you have the black thingy of the PC and you can use the lights to give you that kind of
Stained glass element to it.
What do you think?
I love it. Like,
Within the next hour, we had our story, we had our outline, and we had our plan, but it worked out like just right.
Day one, it was really important for us to really solidify what exactly we wanted to do. This task is
more gargantuan for y'all to fit with your aesthetic. So my inclination is what strikes your fancy.
I think that was a hugely important step for cohesion.
The first thing I think of with this is rust. We're gonna make this computer look a little aged and beat up and worn.
Blade Runner, something like from the city, but it's grunge still.
Yes. It's just a matter of visual storytelling. What story do I want to convey in this build, and how am I going to be able to illustrate that with the amount of time that I've got?
Time permitting, it would be very cool if I mimicked the cooling inside of that.
I really like out-of-the-box things like this.
What I'm wondering is maybe you've got like a little reservoir, a little pocket of fluid.
That'd be cool.
That's the same fluid that's in this.
My default style is actually the fantasy gothic. I am a lot more interested in making something that I've not really done before.
We can have the same city and
I was thinking of doing kind of just, she's beautiful on the outside and you looks like the inside, similar to like how you've got the inside on here. So I wanted to use very similar to what you're doing.
That's what's inspirational to me, and I think I can make a really unique character off of this prompt.
So Jerry, G500A from them, so mid-sized tower case. We've got the ROG Strix Z790 motherboard. They're gonna be testing their hardware, and you've done this before.
Yes.
This is always exciting.
Yes, so this is the star of the show, or the brain and the beauty.
Yeah, exactly, I like it.
So unboxing our
There we go.
CPU. We have our silver waffle. If you guys are hungry, nom 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 nom.
Ah.
Amazing.
Well, we'll have it. Enjoy the new toys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's finish our build now.
I was still planning, I was already designing what kind of loop I wanted to have because that was my responsibility in the team. I wanted to make sure that I test bench the system. I was actually just messing up on some of the most basic things which I've done 100 million times before.
Does the monitor turn on its own?
Yeah.
Like, can you get power to
And then
it?
it go, yeah, there's power right there.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was kind of like a nerve. It was the nerves of starting out, it was the nerves of not knowing what we were gonna do. I never thought I had it in me to just do it on the fly, but I did.
Nice, oh my God. Windows works, I think we're good.
Let's go.
Look at this.
I kind of
Look
like
at
the
this.
ceiling cables.
She's like, yeah, I just found a place to plug this in. Where are we at on you being done? You're like already done. You're like, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm gonna.
So I just set my prints to print.
Okay.
And then,
Oh, your prints.
yeah.
So are you using the 3D printer?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
So since I'm not creating a new design, I really felt that I had to focus on the details and make sure that I had everything as accurate to the character as possible. The thing is with props, you can't really just pump it all out in one go. These things have to go first because they take the longest.
So what are you 3D printing?
Just like like her rings this year and her buckles and stuff, because I feel like I could make them out of foam, but since I could also just set them on the 3D printer, then I'll just do that.
Yes,
yeah.
and yeah, and that hard plastic's sturdy, right?
Yeah.
You did
make
that?
this?
Oh no, I didn't. The character I'm doing has files that people have made for her, so I just use the files. It would take a lot of time to model them myself, so I didn't want to do
3D modeling
that.
takes a long time.
It doesn't matter. I mean, that's ingenuity, right? You have a
Exactly.
limited amount of time. You got to basically do what you can to figure this stuff out.
The 40 hours is a pretty strict time limit, but I'm like a really last minute cosplayer, so it's not something I have not experienced before, just sitting there and making stuff.
Do you know how to 3D model also if you were trying to design something?
Yeah, I know how to 3D model. Like, I'm not that good at super complicated stuff, but I can do like general cosplay shapes which are not as detailed.
Right.
I don't really make things that are like you can actually use just decorations that you slap on there and call it a day.
Oh, so 4 hours and 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you can print it 10 times, but you wouldn't want to do that.
No.
But if you wanted to have a strategy where you were taking all of the printers so nobody else could use them, you could just sit there.
That's why I was like, oh, I gotta start it first before anyone else starts any prints.
We'll let you get back to it and have fun ordering. You gotta put some more money in there. Can you order me, can I get some juice boxes?
Okay, I'll add that to the order.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Wait a second. Holy that's right.
This will accept time. That's perfect.
Grab this one.
40 hours sounds like a short amount of time, but if you've got a pretty good sense of what you want to do, there's a lot you can do within that time frame. We've got the ASUS Hero motherboard, the Z790. We also picked up an RTX 4080 Tough that ASUS had as well, and so that's like a great go-to card for these types of projects. We had some ASUS Strix power supplies, which I was excited to use because it would go well with the aesthetic that we were trying to convey.
Because it was post-apocalyptic, we wanted it to look very industrial. So luckily, we came across this beautiful sheet of patina metal that was already pre-patinaed for us. We took the measurements on the case and lined it up. And then we used the plasma cutter just to cut out the exact shape that we needed.
I'm very happy with the progress that we've made. That being said, the other teams have kind of scrambled to get some quicker progress up front. I like the slower burn for these types of projects, but if you try and rush it, it may not come out the way that you're like really wanting it to. Me and Tim, we ran into a little bit of a chemistry issue.
So we're going with clear then, yeah?
No, we're going with black.
When we actually started to discuss about how to route the tubes and where certain particular components needed to go, that's where we started to see some of our differences.
Has to finish.
You want to do pass-throughs?
I would want to do, I guess, more, I guess you could say.
Like just do straight routes, like from.
Well,
yeah.
I guess we gotta figure out. Let me figure out like because if we're gonna leave the back open, then we can do like pass-throughs and then you can have the whole back shown too.
Okay, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? Hey, you guys barely know each other, so there's gonna be a lot of that like at the beginning, you know what I mean? You guys both have a ton of experience in a different way. You're also very strong creatives, and it's like the same thing. You put two people like that together, right? It's just gonna have to be some conflict resolution, and so.
No, I feel like overall, I think, you know, you're never gonna get like a perfect, you know, with everything like all the boxes checked. You're never gonna get that.
Yeah.
Even before the competition started, like I knew how I was gonna be able to resolve it if it came up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that in mind.
Okay, so you are working with somebody you've never worked before, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about working with Harji and like what that process has been like.
It's been a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push myself to be a little bit more on the wild side, and he's trying to still keep in what we would usually do as far as that, which I understand. I feel like, hey, this is like a creator challenge, it's a modding challenge, like we need to do more than just what the basic thing is, and it's just now we've been stuck on the whole day just the loop part of it. And I mean, hopefully like at this point we're like past that and we can get on to like some more of like where I'm just like cutting some panels, designing some stuff in CAD.
So AKA Roby, shut up, I need to get back to work and let me go.
Yes.
Peace.
It's so quiet, oh my God. Pantalona will be like the high supreme witch leader who has the key to help save humanity because we're all gonna die.
We really wanted to have the synergy. We wanted to make sure that our build was cool. We wanted to use different types of material and different skill sets that was available in our team.
You know how when you go to high cathedral churches, they have stained glasses? So that's what we want to do for the glass build. I'm gonna print out some vinyl stickers that's gonna help Derek paint over it. In terms of the images that we're gonna be putting, it's up to me. No pressure.
I like this. And then I put that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. No, 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 no. I don't like this. So we will not use you. I have this idea for the High Priestess with using all the architectural shapes of the different High Gothic type cathedrals, right? And I immediately think, you know what? I need to start on the dress first. But plot twist, I didn't get enough of the fabric.
Yeah, you can see. I was like, this is looking good despite not being the right fabric, I will say. The silhouette is...
It's the right fabric, but it's not the right... I'm too tall. Yeah, so right now, as you...
Yeah, there's definitely a height.
Yeah, so that's the issue. I need more yardage.
Yeah.
And then there's not... This is all the fabric I got, so I don't have sleeves.
Yeah, so you're still waiting on that, yeah.
Yeah, so I said I would start with something. I started to freak out towards the end of that day because I was like, oh no, I really do need this fabric. And it was a lot. Day one was stress.
It's the same thickness.
It's the same thickness.
Yeah,
now so I need it to curve a little bit here. I was thinking
easy.
like
That's
this.
easy. So what you can do on the break, you slide it in, tiny, slide a little bit, tiny.
And just
you
round
slowly,
it.
Yeah, you slowly.
We don't do theme builds that often, but it was an awesome chance, being that we're at the Urban Workshop, to utilize as many different tools and resources as possible, because you could not have picked a better place to do this at. Well, being that it's an open air chassis, we have a ton of freedom to get creative with whatever kind of tools. The story I wanted to tell is that it's a computer that has slowly been added on in a makeshift way, because through this dystopian future that this build exists in, it's kind of hard to get upgrades. It's kind of hard to get what you need, and you have to kind of make do with what you got. So that was the overall idea that we've got for this build going forward. We just need to make it look believable, as if it would exist in that dystopian future.
I think we should show a little bit of your weathering process here. I'm sure they'd be very curious to see.
Yeah, sure, why not? Well, some people, what they do is they actually put a lot on and then wipe it all off while it's still very, very wet. I like to dry brush though. See, this is a little too much. You see how it's like a weird kind of, it looks like a weird jump, which is why we need to
wipe it down.
2 feet away, this might look okay. But once you get a little further away, it's just going to kind of become a blob, whereas adding artificial darks kind of simulates just the way that like things naturally have shadows and highlights. And this is just helping accentuate that so you can see the details more.
This is what it's gonna look like.
Great.
So I just wanna ask, in terms of a creative decision, what do we do about these?
If you can, it'll be hard. Like, what's going to be difficult for you is right now just getting it off of the paper.
Okay, you want me to get it off of the paper already?
No. I'm saying that part will be hard. But if you think you can do it, leave it. And if you don't think you can do it, just cut it right now with the X-Acto.
Oh, I meant that, and I'm trying to talk about like the look.
That's
I
good.
like this.
That's good.
I like these two. So if you could get that to look like these two, you're good.
My nerves are not so pumped on today. My first stop was the laser etching onto 16 gauge mild steel. It didn't work the way I wanted it to, and I ended up having to rework those towers like twice.
I was about to say, is this round 2?
Yeah.
Okay, fingers crossed.
We're hoping. So I've painted it real quick. It's like we'll be able to see it, but will it be enough?
Yeah, I was gonna say, making sure that actually reads really well on the case, right?
Once it does this, I'll sand the edge, weld it, and then it's clear coat.
Oh,
It's kind
yeah.
of stuck as whatever this turns into.
It's worth it. I was gonna say, that's looking real good from here.
I tried to employ like the new things we had learned in the workshop, so like the laser etching and the welding. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't horrible. Like I tried something new, which like I welded.
Oh, wow. So you like went and welded this?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is so cool. I love this.
Yo,
You seemed very excited to weld, so.
I was, but any welders don't judge my weld because I'm new. But the heat actually melted the paint on this side, which I should have anticipated. But I'm gonna go over the white, the windows with the white, and then just use a black to cover up like around the edges and sharpen it up. I was actually slightly let down. It was like, shoot, I wasted a lot of time there.
It's almost the end of day one. We have seen everything. We've seen the highs, the lows, we've seen the creation, we've seen the panic, and it's only day one. Gina, break it down. So far, let's start with team number one.
Team number one. I gotta say, the team synergy is there. Dance Rihanna does seem a little bit stressed, but she plays it off so cool.
Yeah, she is so adaptable, I think.
But I feel like the ambition level on this one, highest of any of the other builds. And I am seeing some stress, even from Derek, who plays it cool as a cucumber. There is some tension there because they're realizing they have a very ambitious plan. I'm a little concerned. I mean, we've seen in past ICC episodes, he hasn't finished all the way. And so I feel like he's really aware of that. This could be the one, like it could be all the way up into the end to get this one finished. Team two, thoughts, because we've seen conflict there already.
Yeah, I am a little bit concerned about time.
I do think that they're spending time looking around. They see this very ambitious plan, and I think there's some concern, just given what they're building, like there is gonna have to be a lot of fabrication, and so they're trying to find other ways to have the build stick out. And so you're seeing those two modders who are used to working on their own, seeing them try and resolve.
I was saying, and what I find interesting too about Zekia's cosplay build, right, is that I'm looking at the two other teams, they're going with more original designs, but Zekia is replicating something that already exists, right? So doing that one-to-one match will be really interesting. With her working on a really large-scale prop right now, I was talking to her and she was like, oh, I want to finish that by the end of today and prep it just to paint by tomorrow, which gives not a lot of time to make the costume and the wig and all these other details of this costume. So from a costumer standpoint, it would make me nervous. She's all about that one-to-one, that accuracy, every little detail matching, but she still has to, you know, nail that accuracy if she's going for that. So I think it's a bit of a mixed bag.
We're looking at John and Ellie. I feel like they're actually in a very comfortable spot. They're kind of playing it safe. We've got a case that isn't a case. They're modifying something that can be very Liquid House. And at the same time, it's got all of those steampunk, still cyber elements that are gonna kind of come through it.
I did see a little bit of it through Regan. She copied a design from one of the PC parts.
They're literally giving her metal pieces that are patina, the same exact metal that's on the case. She's using the same sleeves that Liquid House is using, right? She's going to tint them to match so that they, on both the PC and herself, it matches, right? So they're taking a very literal interpretation of cohesion versus something thematic. So I'm very interested to see how that whole thing plays out because on paper, it sounds really interesting, but is the execution there, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
This is an interesting competition, a lot going on, and I'm really excited to see what happens in day two. Okay, just so you guys know, 50 minutes left in day one.
Finally, it has happened to me.
Like you don't want to use it?
Yeah, we can cut a whole nother piece. Like a different design.
If all the lights are blue, it would like tie it together.
Where do I keep losing the bracket? Get up there.
I gotta zoom in on that. It's 11:44, and I'm tired. And we didn't get that far. It's all the wrong screws and all the wrong, like, now I gotta like line this up and make sure it's straight.
These go deeper, that's why.
Yeah, but Oh my God, dude, I'm about to lose it.